welcome. Today I'd like to talk to you about the importance of the skills of the facilitator. Michael Grinder calls these the micro skills. A lot of people that are going through the kind of training programs that I develop really think that the most important thing to learn is about all of the processes, whereas selection of good process is critical to match the kind of outcomes you're going for. Really, a whole issue is about you as the facilitator, the skills that you bring to any process. And those are often not obvious to people when they're first learning. So I'd like to share with you about what these micro skills are, about categories, and this being kind of an intro video, and we can go much deeper in each of these topic areas as we progress on these videos and with blogs. So to introduce this idea of these micro skills, I'd like to tell you a little story. Many, many years ago, I was traveling back from New York from doing a facilitation training program, and I sat next to a highly extroverted woman on the plane. Those of you that know me know that I'm an introvert. So on a plane, what I like to do is do anything but talk to other people. But anyway, she was a very nice woman. She kind of wore me down after a period of time. And as the plane was landing in San Francisco, she asked me, what are the most important things to know about facilitation? And of course, in my head, I went, oh my God, this is a crazy question. I can hear the landing gears coming down. We only have like minutes before we land, and obviously I wouldn't have much time to share with her. But it turned out to be a great question, because I actually took my hand out and I started going over my fingers on my hand to try to enumerate the most critical areas to focus on in terms of facilitation skills. And that's what I'd like to share with you. It's called the five-finger model. So on the first finger, as you'll see, the index finger, the number one finger, it's all about outcomes. That's where everything has to start. So from a facilitator standpoint, a leader standpoint, you've got to know your outcomes. Everything else follows from that. On my website and on some of the free resources and blogs, I've already been writing about the importance of outcomes, both rational and experiential outcomes, and I refer you to those titles. But also, you'll notice that you have to know about questions, high-quality questions. So questioning skill is hugely important. Every process is made up of a series of high-quality sequential questions. The type of question you ask and the sequence will get you to your specific outcomes, both the rational and the experiential. Sometimes when you ask questions, you need to do what's called chunk up, so you go up to a higher level. People are getting lost in the weeds, people are getting upset with one another, and when that happens, the facilitator should know they need to ask a question that goes up a level. So people talking about issues and challenges with strategies, often you need to go, so what is this all about? What's the most important thing we can achieve? That's a chunking up question. In many cases, when you're looking for moving to strategies and actions and deeper insights, you would chunk down. And that's a skill of the facilitator. So you'd ask a deepening question, the one that goes underneath the surface. So that's the second finger. It's really understanding about the importance of questions. The third finger is probably the most challenging, and of course the third finger has to do with the third aspect of facilitation skills, micro skills. And that's the understanding that when we're working with groups, we're working with teams, we're working with whole systems, and you're working on issues of change, you really want to help people probe down to the levels of values and beliefs. You don't have permission to do that, and yet that's where real change comes from. And so a facilitator and a leader is always thinking about, like, what's underneath the surface, listening in people's comments for words like never, should, always, must. Those are key indicators that people are talking about their beliefs. And it's a simple step to ask a question that gets underneath the surface. It's also important in the process selection is you pick the right process to go deeper and deeper to help people work on the issues of collective values, collective beliefs. The fourth area and the fourth finger has to do with your flexibility as a facilitator. And what gives you great flexibility, to be honest with you, is being crystal clear on your outcomes. But I can't tell you the number of times that I've shown up with a group, agenda set, clear in my outcomes, and something presents itself right in the meeting where the actual agenda goes out the window, but the outcomes never go out the window. Those are strategic moments. You want to capitalize on that, and you have to be, as a facilitator, flexible enough to change your style, change your approach, change your practice right in the moment. But what allows you to make that change is your clarity of your outcomes and actually knowing your craft. Okay? And the last area which I've talked about a lot and I've written about a lot is really your sensory acuity, your observation skills. So the thing for you to remember today is that you need to watch your group. You need to watch your team. They actually are telling you volumes of information at every moment about how they're doing as a group, what they're listening to, who's important, who has credibility, who doesn't have credibility in the group. That's because you're in second position. It means you're totally present. You're sometimes in third position, meaning what your observation is of the whole group dynamic. So you have to be in a place to observe and to listen at that kind of a level and make adjustments. So in a quick nutshell, those are the 5 most critical areas that you need to pay attention to as micro skills, and it's also called the 5-finger model. I hope this has been helpful. If you have some thoughts and additions, please contact me on Facebook, as well as check out my blog. Thank you very much. See you later now.